Hi, it's Alex from Raw Selection. Private equity and venture capital firms are coming to us in hordes right now to secure one of the most critical positions within a portfolio company. That position is a Chief Financial Officer, or CFO. Now, this is one of the most critical positions within the organization. It's the absolute key link between the private equity and the venture capital firm to their portfolio companies. It's the individual that speaks exactly the same language as the portfolio company, but also speaks the same language as the private equity and venture capital firms. And this position has been hired incorrectly time and time again by private equity and venture capital firms for their portfolio companies, and then making critical mistakes and therefore coming to us to replace those positions on a confidential basis to secure a real A player to come into that business. Now, one of the main problems that they've got at the moment is hiring talent that is not private equity experience or is not what we would regard as hands-on. So what we're going to look at here is what it takes to be a top A player, private equity, venture capital backed portfolio company, Chief Financial Officer, CFO. Number one is the most important part, and that's being hands-on. A lot of guys that come from corporate background, not all, but a lot of guys that come from corporate background, that come from really large organizations, who come from what I would regard as stagnant and slow growth businesses, although every business is on this huge growth trajectory. A lot of those businesses, they hire CFOs and they come in and they manage a large team, and it's a strategy or top line strategy position as opposed to getting into the weeds of the business. The number two is purely being able to work right across the business. A lot of CFOs that we see come into businesses and focus linear on that financial and accounting business, maybe taxation. You've got to be able to come into the business and work holistically right across the organization, looking at cost reductions, looking at process improvements, aligning operations, aligning sales, aligning all the different functions within the business to ensure that you are working across it to improve cost, to improve efficiencies, and drive that EBITDA number. And that brings us to number three. Number three is EBITDA. If you are a Chief Financial Officer, a CFO, and you are not embedded with that term and are working to operate to increase and develop that EBITDA number, then that is absolutely critical. Now, overall, those are the three main markers, but there's tons of other areas that make it, attitude, drive, dynamic type of profile, obviously, but it's about being able to bring on a profile that you need. So a lot of private equity firms are using buy and build strategies right now. So if you have a profile within your business that needs that buy and build strategy, it's to use it. If you are looking for a Chief Financial Officer, CFO to come and join your portfolio company, please reach out. It's alex.r@rawselection.co.uk. That's alex.r@rawselection.co.uk. I look forward to working with you. Thank you.